Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time. Some say that Tom is like a giant among men. Others say he's a little obsessed.
I don't even have a top 10.
Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time.
Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel.
Z Garcia, what's up?
Sam Healy.
And we are now in the top 30 of my top 100 games of all time. This is going to be the least, I guess, interesting of all the lists because I don't believe there's any game from 30 to 21 that hasn't been on the list before. There isn't. They're all older games, and most of them, except for two, have been on the list for like 7-8 years.
Well, that doesn't mean we can't pick on them. That's right.
Well, you'll do that with number 30.
It's been bad choices for a long time, is all that means.
The good news is, kids, we're almost done.
All right, number 30 for me is a game that has been floated in and out of my top 10 over the years. The first time I played it, I just loved it. It's a Euro game, but offers a ton of choices, and that's Wallenstein. Wallenstein is a game, and I especially like the new version because they took the really good turn order mechanism from Shogun.
You mean the new version of Shogun, right?
So they took that version from Shogun and put it in Wallenstein.
Right.
So Shogun is your...
Once
Shogun
again,
is the better one.
Once again, to clarify, I do like Shogun, but I'll never play it. And the reason for that is because Wallenstein is superior in its map put togetherness. In Wallenstein, you cannot hole up in a corner. You can't hole up in a corner of Wallenstein. You can't. You're everywhere. And in Shogun, it's too easy to turtle in a corner. I hate turtling. I just hate turtling in games.
Next time we
it doesn't allow you.
I'm going to turtle in one of the quarters and win.
You will not win if you
right
turtle
in the middle, and I'll
Wallenstein.
protect you.
Okay.
Prove a point.
Just to prove it.
Anyhow, I think the Wallenstein map is vastly superior. Although I would rather play the game set at Japan. I like Japan, the theming there better, but
right.
In essence, they're really almost the same game. The only difference is the map. But the Cube Tower is part of my liking of the game, but that's not it. I just like the fact that you have all those actions, and the actions can come up in different orders, and they're in different territories. If you've never played it, you should try it out.
We should make a print and play map of an alternate universe where Japan is shaped like Germany. And all of the towns and provinces have Japanese names.
Number 29 has been on my list now for 6 years. It started at 100 and keeps moving up every year. And that's Magic the Gathering.
Oh,
Magic the Gathering,
really?
there's just something about the game. I mean, I know it's been out now for, almost 30 years? Yeah, 30. Wait, no.
Came out in 93.
So that's 22 years, 23 years, sorry. Still a long time for one game to still be as popular as it is. Now, I'm not a big fan of the scene of Magic the Gathering. In fact, most time when I see the Magic the Gathering players at stores, they're definitely not the kind of people I want to play games with. It's just unfortunate, but that's how it works. But the game itself I like, and I don't buy every starter deck that comes out, but I get a lot of them, and I like playing starter decks against starter decks. And I really like Commander, the 100 deck with all the cards different. That's a really fun way to play. That's my favorite way to play, actually. I feel like there's a lot of fun in that, and it's hard to cheese that one out. So Magic the Gathering, I don't know. I like it. You like it too.
I do. It's a good choice. I cannot give you garbage for that.
Well, he keeps saying I'm slipping farther and farther into it.
He's
But I don't buy booster packs.
One day we'll come over and
over.
we'll be surrounded by booster packs and shrink, the shrink wrap just in a mound.
mistakes were made. Yes.
Yes.
All right, number 28 has just been reprinted in a super overly deluxe version, and that's Age of Empires 3, or as it's called now, Empire's Age of Discovery.
From Glenn Grover's Age of Empires 3, Empires.
I really should just call it Empire's Age of Discovery
Wrap the title around the box.
Yes.
Now, this game comes with tons of plastic miniatures, looks like a war game, but it's not. It's a worker placement game, and it's actually one of the first worker placement games before they got popular and they came out with 50 a year.
Right.
And I remember when people first played it because it was an Eagle game and they looked at all the miniatures and then they played it and people were very impressed by it.
Right.
I'm still impressed by this game.
Yeah.
Still like it because it's a worker placement game but your workers then turn into area control. You put them over here, send them over to the other spot.
Yep.
And the new deluxe version is super nice, right? It's really expensive though, unfortunately.
Really nice.
So if you want the game, you got to pay the money for it. There is no normal version of it anymore, but still one that I like and play often.
Is it worth the money? Let me ask you that. Is it?
I think any game is worth the money if you play it enough.
Okay.
So I never really get into that kind of like, let's say it's $100. I think it might be even a little bit more than that, but $100. But I play it 30 times. That's easily worth the money to me.
Right.
Because I paid $100 to go to an amusement park. It's
Right.
so.
Okay.
But I mean, as comparison to other ones, I don't know. It depends on how much you like it. Try it out first.
Yeah.
So Age of Empires 3. All right. Number 20.
I had very little things, very few opportunities to say anything, Z.
I feel one coming on soon, though. We can go like.
It's in the barrel. It's coming down the pipe. Okay.
Number 27 has been on my list for as long as I can remember. It's the first time I played it, loved it, and that's Werewolf.
Oh, it isn't.
Yeah, you got
You like Werewolf, though.
Yes, I
Wow.
had to unload.
Werewolf is just a very solid game. I probably played exclusively at conventions at this point. I don't know the last time I've been together with a game group and we're like, hey, let's play Werewolf because they've come out with so many alternatives. Resistance and all these other ones.
Well,
We
that are
have been
faster.
asked, though. We have been asked at our Tuesday night group before. At least I have.
Yes.
Hey, you want to hang around and play Werewolf?
Okay, but I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to that. I like the idea, and the fact is, Werewolf needs a somewhat quiet space, and Werewolf needs a very good moderator.
Right.
But if you have those two things, I still think it kicks the pants off of Resistance and One Night Ultimate Werewolf and Mafia de Cuba and all those other ones. I like Werewolf the best out of all of the genre, I think. Unless I put one higher.
Styles of games are higher on your list.
I'm looking now. No.
Looking now.
Looking
Okay.
down, Drake.
So my number 27, Werewolf or Mafia. Number 26 has been on my list since the beginning. I know that because as soon as I played this game, I loved it. The first true area control game, and that's El Grande. El Grande is still in my collection. That's one of the older games that I have. Well, 95, I guess, is not that old, but 20 years old. Won the Spiel des Jahres when it came out. It doesn't look that impressive when you look at it. It's cubes on a map of Spain. A lot of mistakes that could be. I would like a new version of it. There's no numbers on the scoring track. I mean, the board looks blah.
Well, is El Grande in print?
They did come out with a 20th anniversary edition or something.
Right, they did. I just wonder if it's out there, if it's eligible.
It
for
might not.
somebody
To pick up and reprint?
Yeah.
I do like it a lot, though. It's simple, but it's not just the area control, which it was when I first played it was a concept I never thought of before.
Right.
Oh, the most cubes, I get points. But also the fact that you could change the points, and the way you played these cards, you play early, you get the better power, but you put out fewer cubes. You play late, you get some garbage power, but you get to put up more cubes out on the board. And it's very interactive. I like it with 3, 4, and 5. I think it works really well. Solid game. El Grande. I continue on my list of games that Z likes but Sam doesn't. And this one is one of my favorite cooperative games. In fact, I'm looking to see if it is. No, it's not my favorite, but it's one of them, and that's Ghost Stories.
Oh, yeah.
Ghost
What number
Stories
is this?
25.
It needs to be higher on the list, even.
You don't even remember what number it was on your
Like
list.
around 35 or 45, you mean?
It's in my top 10, I think.
Is it?
Huh?
You mean like 35 or 45?
No, I
It's
mean,
higher?
Higher.
I know. I was just
Higher oomph.
higher.
So, Ghost Stories is kind of interesting because there's a lot of cooperative games that come out all the time. And these cooperative games are always trying to do something new and interesting. And Ghost Stories was like, ghosts are coming at you, fight them off. And that was it.
Right.
They did do more interesting things when you add in the White Moon expansion, which I like a lot, but I don't think you need to play the base game.
Right.
And then the Black Secrets, which I like too, but much less
I thought
needed.
both expansions were really good, actually.
No, they're both really good, but you
the
don't
game
need them.
Right, you don't need them at all, really. Some expansions to co-op almost, you are almost necessary because the game, after a few plays, you go, all right, I need something else to keep this interesting.
Yeah.
Ghost Stories is just so solid that it keeps on giving.
I would like to say that I do enjoy the game. It's just, let me put a past tense on that. I liked the game. It's just too difficult for me. I rarely have people saying, "Oh yeah, we beat that game all the time," or "Yeah, we have won before." How many times have you won that game? Maybe once. I don't know.
As long as I win a game once, I'm satisfied. We beat it, yeah.
Well, you could always tweak it and make it easier.
I know that there's different levels you can play it at, but I mean, even on the easy level, it's hard.
It is.
I mean, it's
I love how
really,
they have this.
I do like.
They have Nightmare.
I do like how they go. Okay, this is introductory.
Yeah, that's one of
And
the
then
things.
eventually, like, easy, hard, nightmare.
Right.
Wu Feng's demons come back, and then. But I never go past introductory pretty much. Because I'll win like 20% of the time.
That was one of the main things that I had against XCOM when that game came out.
Right.
Was that it was it was a great game, but it was so hard. I mean, the tutorial was going, you like that? Here, here's another one. There, take that.
Well, I actually like the hardness of Ghost Stories, and I like the fact that because when you win, it's such a amazing moment around the table.
Yeah, that's
So they're Ghost Stories. Number 24 has been on my list for a while too. Like I said, this one was as high as 4 at one point when I was playing it every meetup and Sam was sick of seeing it, and that is Dominion. And I still like it, okay? Don't get me wrong. Dominion is still a solid game. It's not my favorite deck builder, but when I just want to sit down and play a mechanical deck builder, Dominion's there for me. Boom, 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 boom. It's one of those games that I'm kind of saying, hey, have you played Dominion before? You haven't? All right, we're going to play Ticket to Ride. You know, I want to play with people who know what they're doing. And they've come out with a bunch of expansions, which normally makes me like a game more. I like the expansions for Dominion, but none of... in Seaside and Prosperity, it's like, wow. Mm-hmm. The recent ones are good, and I actually really like the last one they did, but they still don't... I'm still not sitting there going, oh, we need to play Dominion again. No, I play it, and it's fun, it's super fun. Let's play it again. But it's lost that addictiveness that it was at the beginning.
I'm so glad you finally caught up to me.
But I still really like
for
them.
like 5 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, Dominion for me, I was never on either end, actually. I was never one of the people who adored it when it first came out. In fact, I remember when it first came out, I remember thinking, it's just a card game? But it's like, it's a ton of money. I'm not getting this game. I remember making a concentrated effort to be like, I'm not supporting this game. It's like, it's a bunch of cards, and they want me to pay full board game price.
And then you tried it.
Tried it, I liked it,
Yeah.
sure. But I was never one of the haters either. Mm-hmm. But it's just sort of like, it's good, but it's not, you know.
I liked it when it first came out. I enjoyed playing it, but then we played it every stinking time we got together to play games.
Right.
So it took from 5 years to get to start saying that it's not as great.
Well, okay, again,
So
it's
it's gonna
24 on my list. That's
And
still
so
really
in 5
high.
years, this is not going to be on his top 100 anymore.
Well, there's another reason it's knocked down, and that's because there's a couple other deck builders that are higher, too, though.
That's what I'm saying.
We'll get to that. All right, 23 has been on the list. This is the third year it's on the list. This is from Bezier Games, and this is Suburbia. I'm a huge sucker for city building games, and I'm often disappointed by them. I'll play them, and it's about either the city building theme isn't very strong, or it's some pick up and delivery game, or whatever. This one, I think the theme is really strong. I really like the expansion Suburbia Incorporated. The new one, 5 stars, is good, but not necessary. But every time I play Suburbia, I'm having a good time, because I'm building my city, which is like my own thing. But I'm also watching your cities. Oh, you build a restaurant? Okay, I'm going to do this because this gives me extra things for every restaurant that's built. So there's that play and the interaction with other people. And I get joy at the end of the game when I look down and this is my king. Even if I've lost, this is what I've built. And I like that in Suburbia, especially with Suburbia Incorporated, because I build really weird cities. Hey, I built the beach right next to the prison. Ha ha ha. I don't know.
So you can taunt all the inmates.
We're having fun. Okay, that's kind of rude.
I've never played Suburbia, and I really have just about zero interest to do so.
It's an ugly game.
Well,
I like the way it looks.
I don't care for most city building games, and this one doesn't seem to do anything I want.
It just doesn't pop. I've
All
played
right.
it. It's a decent enough game. It's just it's ugly.
Well,
and
even though I have not played it, I am giving you garbage for
it
it.
is not visually stimulating. I have played it, and I'm supporting the garbage you're giving him.
I love it. Suburbia. All right, finally a game Sam will agree with me on. Number 22, this is the second year on the list, and that's Level 7
chance.
Omega Protocol.
Woo!
Good.
Omega?
Good call.
This is still, if you notice, this is actually still higher than Imperial Assault. I like Imperial Assault with the Star Wars, and I love the Star Wars theme, but Omega Protocol currently is a really good game. And it allows the Overseer to play as hard as he wants against the good guys and do all kinds of weird things with that adrenaline where you take, every time you use actions, give me some more adrenaline, and I'm going to drop these guys in here. And it comes the closest, I think, to feeling like a mixture of the Aliens movies to maybe Starship Troopers, whatever. And I like the fact that you don't go in like, okay, guys, here's a knife for everybody. Where's your guns? They're in level 4. Get to them. I mean, that never makes sense thematically. Here you guys go in full blast, and you're looking for things like medical packs and things. It's really XCOM, the board game, the mission part.
Yeah.
And I like that.
yes.
Yeah.
So, really fun game. Level 7 Omega Protocol.
Good choice. Finally.
The last game for this group of 10 is a party game, and one that I enjoy a lot. Sam likes it too, so he can't say anything, and that's Time's Up.
Okay.
You do like Time's Up. Time's
You
Up.
put it above Omega Protocol, Sam.
That I don't agree with.
I like Time's Up, and I really like the fact that they have they keep improving it. I keep going and finding, hey, here's a new box of Time's Up. They've added some bells and whistles, or they made some rules that you can play with odd number of players, things like that. I like that. And they come out with the new sets. The Title Recall is still my favorite, and they just came out with a new version of the Title Recall in the square box and things. And even have a little pack of cards somewhere in here that's board games only.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. Although it's 6 years old now, so people be like, "What? What is that game?"
It's retro board games now.
Old board games from 6 years ago. But the concept of it, the laughter it provides, really, I think this is my highest rated party game at this point. Yeah,
Should be.
It is. Time's Up, my number 21. And that's it. Now I'm excited about the next 10 because there's several new games in there. But we'll find out what they are when we come back next time. Until then, I'm Tom Vasel.
Zigarcia, thank you.
Sam Healy, see you on the flip side.
Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time. Some say that Tom is like a giant among men. Others say he's a little obsessed.
I don't even have a top 10.
Tom Vasel's top 100 games of all time.